This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Thank you for coming to the meeting today. Lander County Commissioners Meeting, Town Board of Battle Mountain and Austin Board of County Highway Commissioners. This is February the 10th, 2022. All times of the agenda are approximate. Consideration of items may require more or less time than is scheduled. Items on the agenda may be taken out of order. The public body may combine two or more agenda items for consideration, and the public body may remove an item from the agenda or delay discussing relating to an item on the agenda at any time. Public comment is designated for discussion only. The public has the opportunity to address the commission on any matter not appearing on the agenda. However, no action may be taken or any matter raised until the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an item upon which action may be taken. Additionally, public comment may be heard on any listed item on the agenda. Persons are invited to submit comments in writing and or attend and make comments on any agenda item at Lander County Commissioners Board meeting. All public comment may be limited to 3 minutes per person. At the discretion of the commission, please note that the public body may interrupt the open meeting to exclude the public for purpose of having an attorney-client discussion of potential and existing litigation pursuant to NRS 241-051 3B2. Okay, Patsy, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Please join me in the salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we'll have a moment of silence, please. The Lander County Commissioners may break for lunch from 12 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. Any agenda item may be taken out of order, may be combined for consideration to public body, and items may be pulled or removed from the agenda at any time. Commissioners' reports on meetings, conferences, and seminars attended. Patsy?
Thank you. I did attend the Kingston Board meeting on the 27th of January. They were getting ready for our budgets, of course, and some things that they are looking at. They decided they're not having their St. Patrick's annual fundraiser for the firefighters, but they are going to go ahead and do a raffle. I think there's a couple different weapons and guns that they're doing on that, but they haven't them finalized yet. And that's all I have.
Okay. We almost had a pool lock meeting again. Brian?
No report.
No reports. Staff reports on meetings, conferences, seminars attended. Bert?
Yes, good morning, Commission. So just a reminder that we do have the weather modification presentation that will be on the 24th. Keeping everybody on the loop on that, so as many of you can get on there as possible. If you guys have any questions that you would like answered, if you could email them to me so I can let them know, and we will not engage in questioning during that presentation.
Is that on Zoom?
Yes.
So
They will be
it's
sending
after
us a
our
link.
meeting here. Okay.
Yep, it will be a separate meeting. And then I want to touch on something that's gonna come up and see the kind of the feeling of the commission. We're having trouble with bids because the material prices are going so fast that these contractors, the process we go through to open bids is about a 3-week process before this commission and approved, and by then a lot of these suppliers are moving their prices. They can't hold them for that long. They're moving them. Typically right now we're seeing them a weekly change in pricing, so they won't hold the bid for them that long. So what I'm hoping to do is to have mandatory walkthroughs on these jobs where we know what all contractors will possibly be bidding on the job, and then putting their name and everything on the agenda without the contracted amount and bringing that amount to you guys or emailing it to you a day or two before the meeting. So you wouldn't have it for the full 2 weeks in your backup. Then that's just because material pricing moves so fast. If we put it in the backup like we normally are doing for the week and a half, by then the material prices have already changed. The contractor is having a hard time holding it to it. So I know it's an inconvenience. You guys like to have everything in the backup so you can review it. But the only thing that would be missing is the actual number of the bid. It wouldn't be the contractors that are bidding on the job, and then they could also order their materials for the job once it's approved through this commission, a couple days after the opening of bids. So we'd open the bids like on a Wednesday, know the numbers, we'd immediately email them out with a engineer's letter of recommendation for approving the job. You guys would have them, you'd be able to review them prior to the meeting or that evening. And then we can read them numbers into the record, so we have it on record as well. Let's see, the land out here that was transferred to us from Pershing County, I guess all signatures were done, and it is our land as of January 19th. We do not have to sign on that other than as a understanding that we have it. It's not, our signature means nothing as far as the transposition of the land to us. It's hung up on somebody's desk in DC, and they're trying to dig through whose desk that's on. But they do know that all signatures were acquired on the 19th, and it is officially our land. So I have Frank Demick. He's working on the cultural resource plan. We have 3 different trail sites out there that have to be preserved on the California Trail, and there's going to be some training that comes with that. And yearly, we'll have to go out there, take pictures, send it off, make sure that there have been no disturbances of any magnitude, or if we're going to do anything out there, we'd have to put into the cultural resources to make sure that we fence them off or make sure that they aren't disturbed. So that's good news. We'll be putting some money in the budget for the California Trails to preserve some of that, put some signs up, do some things like that. But we do have the land. It's official. We just don't have the letter. And everything else, I believe, is on the agenda. It's a pretty short one.
Public comment for non-agendized items only. Persons are invited to submit comments in writing or attend the meeting, make comments on any non-agendized item at the board meeting, if any, and discussion of those comments at the discretion of the board. All public comment may be limited to 3 minutes per person. Again, at the discretion of the board, reasonable restrictions may be placed on public comments based upon time, place, and manner, but public comment based upon viewpoint may not be restricted. Any public comment? I have a public comment. Can I stay here or need to go down there? I can stay here? I went to a wrestling meet, the League Duels, and it was scary because not one team had every weight class filled. Not one team. Lovelock had 4 wrestlers. I talked to some of the coaches and I said, is this an eligibility issue or is this an interest issue? It's interest. The kids became disengaged over the 2 years. I've never seen this kind of participation rate in wrestling. Lovelock had 4 wrestlers, and they're contenders every year for championships. So I'm putting a lot of hope in Sean. Entice those kids, get them to the rec center. That's what I had to say. Consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine and may be acted upon by the Board of Commissioners with one action without extensive discussion. Any member of the board or any citizen may request that an item be taken out of the consent agenda, discussed, and acted upon separately during this meeting. Consent agenda materials are available at the Lander County Clerk's Office for viewing, and copies are available for nominal charge. 1. Approve of February 10, 2022 agenda notice. 2. Approval of November 18th, 2021 meeting minutes. 3, approval of December 16th, 2021 meeting minutes. 4, approval of January 13th, 2022 meeting minutes. 5, approval of January 27th, 2022 meeting minutes. 6, approval of payroll change requests. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion, we approve items 1, 3, and 6.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
JR seconded, Patsy.
Thank you.
So we have a motion that's been seconded. We'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And we have some checks that were pulled. For Brian, number 214388, 214460, 214520. Anybody else have checks that need to be pulled? Okay, motion?
Wait, you have to read number 1 in, Arthur.
Oh, I'm sorry. Number 1, for discussion and possible action to approve, disapprove the payment of bills. There we go.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Okay. Okay. Brian made the motion, JR seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we need to make a motion for these 3 checks that were pulled.
I'll make a motion, we approve checks 214388, 214460, and 214520.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I abstain, there may two.
Right, Brian abstains. Number 2, for discussion and possible action to approve, disapprove the appointment of one individual to serve on the Lander County Planning Commission, which currently has 3 openings. The new term will be from July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2025, and the candidate is Colt Nelson. Thank you, Colt, for putting your name in.
Good afternoon. Good morning, Commissioners. So we've been helping with the LIDA and Planning Commission, and so I was just coming up here to say that we've gotten express interest from other individuals that'll be coming before you. We hope to try to get those letters to do it all in one swoop, but Colt was the only one that was able to make it within the time frame. But we do have other expected folks that are
So
going to participate.
we'll have
Correct.
2 more vacancies with Colt if he's placed in there.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's a 5-member board, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, we do need this appointment in order to even have a quorum to
Yeah,
to
okay.
conduct business.
Yeah.
And so this, part of this, where it come from is, as Caitlin's getting involved in her new position, one of the things that we did is we went through and we're trying to understand with the clerk's office, just who was properly appointed and who's been expired. So that's why you see some of these coming up in front of you. Some of these folks have actually been expired for a long time, and so we're trying to correct that and get back up on our feet.
I thought we did that a couple of years ago, didn't we?
It's gotta continually
We're on
to be re-upped. Mhm.
Okay, we need a motion on Colt.
I'll make a motion, we approve Colt Nelson to the planning commission to serve July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2025.
Okay, Brian made the motion, JR seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 3, commissioners, for discussion and possible action to approve, disapprove the appointment of one individual to serve on the Lander Economic Development Authority Board, which currently has 5 openings. The new term is from July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023. And thank you, Paula Tamara, for stepping up.
Is that correct? 5 openings? Is that a 7-man board?
Well, I think there was some issue when we were supposed to be reappointed about our letters getting to you. Somehow through a clerical error, they did not.
Is it a 5-member board or 7?
7.
7. Wow.
Yeah, so I've been on the board since 2013 and,
That a long time.
I'll make a motion, we reappoint Paula Tamara to the Lander Economic Development Authority Board from July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Pat's made the motion, JR seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
thank you.
You're welcome, thank you, Paul. Number 4, for discussion and possible action to approve, disapprove resolution number 2022-01, which allows the county to sell 79.82 acres of real property, APN 010-430-32, pursuant to NRS 244.281 and NRS 244.282. This resolution also finds that the sale is in the best interest of the county, sets a public hearing date to determine a fair market value for the property, and sets forth a procedure for the publication of notice.
You got the resolution, somebody has to read it. Do you want a quick explanation first? Let me give you a quick explanation, a little background on this. It came in front of us prior, at a prior hearing. And
Right.
at that time, the Commissioner Clark made a motion to sell the property. It's in the best interest of Lander County to sell the property straight to Honeywell Construction. However, it was determined later after research that we can't do a straight sale. There's no exception to the NRS that allows that, and that's detailed in the resolution itself. And also the procedure that we have to do, I put that in the resolution itself. So even though when I use we, I mean you, even though this board has found that it's in the best interest of Lander County to sell the property to Honeywell, since we can't do it, we need, by virtue of this resolution, the county says it's in the best interest to sell this property and determine its value by a public hearing, and at which time we will ascertain what the property is worth, and then we would set up an auction, and we'd go through an auction.
Okay. You want me to read the resolution then?
Whoever is making the motion should read the resolution.
Okay. Who wants to make the motion? Take it away, Patsy. Take it away.
I make a motion that we approve resolution number 2022-01 of the Board of Lander County Commissioners. Summary is a resolution to sell real property pursuant to NRS 244.281 and NRS 244.282. Whereas Lander County owns a 79.82 acre parcel of land located south of the southwest intersection of Little Cottonwood Canyon Road and State Highway 305, Lander County, Battle Mountain, Nevada, 89820, APN 010-43032. And whereas NRS 244.281 allows for the sale of certain real property by the county and provides in NRS 244.281 1A1 that county-owned real property must be sold in the manner prescribed for the sale of real property in NRS 244.282, which requires that the sale of certain real property by county must be by auction unless an exception exists under NRS 244.281 E12, and finding no exception exists. Now therefore be it resolved that this board hereby finds and determines that the sale of 79.82 acres of real property, APN 010-43032, owned by Lander County, will be for purposes other than to establish, align, realign, change, vacate, or otherwise adjust any street, alley, avenue, or other thoroughfare or portion thereof, or flood control facility within the county, and will be in the best interests of the county. And be it further resolved that this resolution be posted in 3 public places in the county, and a notice be published at least once a week for 3 successive weeks in a newspaper qualified under Chapter 238 of NRS that is published in the county in which the property is located, a notice setting forth a description of the property, the minimum price, and the places this resolution has been posted. And be it further resolved that this board further finds that the real property is worth more than $1,000, and that a public hearing will be set on the day of And we authorize our county manager to publish that date,
Yeah, to find an appropriate date.
to find an appropriate date after it's been published properly in 2022, and to determine the fair market value of the property based on a disinterested, competent real estate appraiser's final value conclusion. Passed and adopted this day of February 10th, 2022.
Do we need to authorize the chair to sign?
I think we all sign it.
This is, no, it authorize the chair to sign.
And authorize the chair to sign.
Perfect.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 5, for discussion and possible action to approve, disapprove the termination of services of the Doobie due to lack of progress at the Austin Youth Center. Bert, you got a little report for us on that?
Peter Dubé is on the line if they have questions.
Yeah, Peter's on the line if you guys have questions. I believe there's some email in correspondence in your guys' backup, and where's Caitlin? I might have to look for Caitlin here because she probably has some more information on this because she's done more direct communication with the Dubé group than I have.
Pete said he'll
You said
speak.
Pete is on the line?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I know over the last couple of years, we were ready to go at one point, because we had the 300,000 put aside, and then COVID hit, and everything went crazy on the materials and the construction people that were gonna work on it, and even our grants, because we realized that we can no longer do this for the amount that they first thought we could do it for. So because of that, we were looking at more grants rather than putting the additional funds in it. But as far as Pete, and I'd like to hear from him, because he is one of the elite specialist architects that works with SHPO in all the historical buildings. And I would really be sorry to lose him without having anybody else that we can actually go to that works with historical buildings and SHPO. So I appreciate his experience, but I also know people get really busy. So Pete, let's hear from you on what you'd like to do with us here.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Pete, we have a lot of trouble with our sound system here, so the louder you can speak into your mic, the better for us here.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me turn my mic up a little bit higher. So I'll try and speak very loudly. So I want to offer an apology to the county commissioners. This kind of came up on the agenda today because in early January, Caitlin McConville reached out to me asking for an update, and so I was honest with her. I responded that regrettably, I just haven't been able to put the time in on the project due to staffing constraints and time constraints. And realistically, I doubted that it's going to change to at least the beginning of summer, around June. And so I did just say, hey, if you want to terminate me. We're operating under a 2019 contract that was signed to develop a report, and of course we abandoned that approach and decided to spend time and effort on pursuing grants, and that hasn't been very fruitful on my end. And so that's where we're at today. So I guess I'm not sure exactly how the county wants to proceed. I think that one option is to the project's better served if somebody at the county either hires or pursues a funding source through grant coordinator, somebody with expertise in that area, and then I just get my team to develop bid documents so we have a shovel-ready project if a grant comes through. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I sincerely apologize, and I understand that whatever decision you arrive at is acceptable to us, but that's sort of where I'm at right now. I think from our standpoint, we would prefer to just develop the project and get you a set of plans, and sort of go that direction. So I am happy to answer any questions.
I know one of my main concerns, and I think yours too, Pete, was our point person that you needed to work with. And I had offered to be that point person, and we really looked at a way that I might be able to do that. But SHPO and all of them said absolutely no, it has to be an employee of Lander County, not an elected official. So we kind of
Correct.
dropped the ball. The one that ended up being appointed actually was Keith. And of course that was a while ago. So, and then we had Kyla leave, and so I think one of the things is you need a real point person to be able to sign, and you can help with the application and everything by all means, but we still need to fill it out and do it. Is that my understanding?
That's correct. So the community development block grant, that whole program, I could sign in as a guest, but we need somebody at the county that is the responsible contact person that uploads all the information, that all the correspondence goes through them. So we need that person. They're, in discussing it with the folks at CDBG, I mean, one of the other things we're going to have to figure out is how we determine the economic impact to Austin if this project were to go, because I guess they rank the grants that they give based on kind of the return on investment. And I'm certainly, as an architect, not qualified to answer that, so we would need somebody with, some economic background that could help us on that. And, the same as SHPO, if we go for a SHPO grant, we've got to recognize there's going to be covenants in place. There's a lot of restrictions on what we can and can't do to the structure. So there's a lot there, but yes, we would basically need a county person assigned to the project that would be the lead on it and would be supported by a team of architects and engineers.
I also know that a lot of the information you do need, we certainly can obtain easily enough through the university. They give us all the information on population and incomes and all that type of thing. So that's easily accessed. But Bert, do you have anybody in mind that we can appoint to be the point person for Pete?
Yep, we have Caitlin that's in there now, and we are currently, I have signed a contract with a grant writer. It's a small fee per month, so we have a grant writer on board with the county now that's working diligently in getting some of these grants. And I think maybe teamed up and moving in the direction that we are now, we might have a chance to do that. But I would like to revisit this with a new contract or something to work freshly off of with the debate group if they're going to be involved.
Okay, Bert, the grant writers?
Yep.
We pay them? Do they also get part of the grant money?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I didn't want to double dip. Sometimes that happens.
So will you still be willing to stay on and work with us under those circumstances, Pete?
Oh, absolutely. I enjoy working for you. I love the community of Austin. Absolutely. I'm just, I'm chagrined and embarrassed that it's gone on this long. I mean, it was a 2019 contract, and we're in 2022. So but yes, I would definitely do that. I'm excited that you have a point person and a grant writer. They could take over that stuff, and we could focus on actually coming up with some plans.
Is everybody all okay with that?
Now we'll just have a new contract on it.
Okay, so that's
Perfect.
my understanding. You'll come back with a new contract.
Alrighty, Pete, is that good with you? Me and you work together and present a contract to this commission later, and we can kind of clear up what we have working on our end, so we can team up on it.
Absolutely. That would be wonderful.
Okay, good deal.
Okay, then we don't need to take any action on this item?
Not really.
Well, I think we're still under that contract. We may still want to terminate and then come back and renew whatever new contract or agreement that we put in place. Is that sound fair to you, Pete?
Yeah, that's fine. We can either. I'm trying to look back and see what the mechanism was for termination, but that's fine. I'm willing for you to do that. Just vote to terminate the 2019 contract, and we'll come back with a new one.
That's what I was gonna suggest. You don't terminate the services, you make a motion to terminate the existing contract, and that a modification is going to be coming in front of us at a later date.
Right, so when the new contract comes back, we'll terminate the previous
No, you
contract.
terminate it today.
Today.
You terminate the previous contract,
Okay.
not his services.
Okay,
Okay, I will make a motion that we continue our relationship and services with the Dubay Group for the Austin property, and that we have a new contract. We cancel the current contract and modify that to come back before us.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'll second the motion.
okay. Patsy made the motion, Brian seconded, all in favor?
Aye. Thank you, Pete.
Okay, thank you very much. And Pete, if there was
Thank-
an asterisk over the E, I would have known how to pronounce it.
there is on my end, but
Thank
it's
you
hard to
very
get
much.
it through on records. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Everybody get a donut? We need to take a break. Item number 6, Day Engineering, for discussion and possible action to approve, disapprove one of the following bids for the new sewer lift station and force main project. Honeywell Construction in the amount not to exceed $2,285,243. Base bid with HDPE or $2,752,8450. Base bid with PVC. HDPE recommended by Public Works. Number 2, Great Basin Engineering in the amount of $2,314,528.41. Base bid with HDPE or $2,878,624.41. Base bid with PVC. Where is this gonna be located?
This is by the Indian colony out there on this side of the south side.
Allen
South
Road.
side, up Corner Road.
Corner of Allen.
On the east side of Allen Road?
It's on the east side, and then we're gonna swap over, we gotta cross over and then go around,
Oh, so you're gonna go under the freeway?
yes, and under Allen
Yeah, I
Road.
remember
Yep.
this being talked about 8 years ago, 7 years ago.
Yes, it's been a long process,
Yeah.
very long,
Yeah, gonna drill underneath.
yep.
Way to go.
I will make a motion that we approve the amount for the new sewer lift station to be given to the Honeywell Construction in the amount not to exceed $2,285,243. That's the base bid with HDPE. And we authorize Public Works Director to sign and issue the notice of award.
Do we need to include in there the alternative amount for the other type of material? Should that be part of the motion?
I think Patsy wants to approve the
No?
HDPE.
Yeah.
That's better
Is that
pipe.
the
And that's the one, yeah, that's the one that they said was petroleum-based, so if we don't do it ASAP with the oil.
Well, I'm just thinking, I mean, with material
Yeah.
issues and
Yes,
stuff,
real-
should we not, I mean, could we wind into a position where that's not available and we have to go with the other, or that's my only thought.
No, I'm gonna just
There's-
leave it with this one because it's lower and it's better,
Right,
so let's
right.
try this.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Patsy made the motion, Brian seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Okay. Number 7. No, we can't be on this one.
Quit dragging it out, Art.
Man alive. Donut break. Correspondence reports, future agenda items.
Alrighty, I have a list here for the 24th meeting. The 24th meeting probably will not be anything like this one.
I gave you that tax letter, right?
Correct.
Okay. We need
Well,
to
you
make mention.
brought it back with yourself out here, so you have it somewhere with you, but you did hand it to me and then took it back.
Yeah, it's on your desk.
Okay. So on the 24th, meeting, Aaron will be presenting the Austin realignment, a proposal on that, and kind of giving us some direction where we stand there. That'll be a pretty good presentation. We will have their med contractor will come back to you guys. I believe we're a little behind on it. And then I also want to have I would say joint meeting, but Ted would really spin out. So a workshop with Wood Rogers to review our master plan and where we stand on that. I would like the workshop to include the planning and zoning board. They will be here, but just as part of a workshop to give us any concerns or questions that they may have before we go into the final stages of wrapping this up. Then, what else do we have? We have the weather modification meeting after that, and
What time is that scheduled for?
the weather modification is 2.
Okay, so we would have to be out of here by noon.
If we have to move that, we can definitely move that. We can move that to 3 or to 4, but
Okay.
hoping to be done by 2
So you give me
and move
time to
straight
get
into that.
home? Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
And then, we also have to visit the Lickens Ranch, our county water rights that are used out there currently. Now that Endow does have ownership of that piece of ground, we need to modify our water rights contract to go through Department of Wildlife, so they continue to put them to good use. That's what I have for you guys on the 24th.
We need to, put on there so we can advertise for our new member for the Austin Airport Advisory Board, because, Tom did send us a letter and he has resigned.
On that Lickens Ranch, item 2, can we make sure that we include the meeting minutes from when we had, we kind of had some spoken agreements in that meeting? I'd just like to refresh myself on that.
Okay.
That piece of property and the water rights.
You bet. I don't know how much we discussed, but we'll add the minutes. The other thing that we need to decide on is the budget hearings. Would you guys like to have them the probably not the end of 24th, because we max that out, but the 25th, and then continue them into the week of the 28th? Or would you guys like to have them 28th, 29th? What would be the date? One day. I know, we always have a second day,
Yeah, right, in case.
agenda, on the agenda
There
just
is
in
no
case.
29th, but, it's not,
February, we're talking for budgets.
it's
Yeah.
not leap year, so we could go the 28th and the 1st.
And we are talking about March.
Yeah, we'd be looking at the end of March.
Yes, not this month.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, there is a.
Do we have to have it quite that late?
Well, we prefer it for myself and Lakin, that's for sure.
I think as late as
Okay, I'm leaving on vacation the end of March because we had a nice big group between.
Well, maybe would you guys be interested in doing it the 25th and then have the 28th as a follow-up date in the event we don't finish it on the 25th?
What's the fishing calendar say? Is it a full fish or a blank fish?
Okay, now
Always a full fish, Art.
Afternoon or the 24th?
I'm confused. Help me here, because you said the 24th is a full day, but we're talking about the 24th
Yes,
of February.
I misspoke on the 24th being a full day, thinking of the
Okay,
24th as a
so-
commission week. It's not the 24th of the full day then for commission, so we could have it the 24th, 25th.
Okay, that would work if we can do that.
Well, let me throw this in there.
It would still be.
My wife has surgery on the 23rd. We're getting a new hip. I may not be available, so I'm just throwing that out there. If she's in bad condition, I gotta stay home.
For sure.
I know,
When did she get operated on? When's your operation?
23rd.
23rd.
You're
We
not
can
gonna
put
be
him on
able
the
to-
phone.
There's just nothing I can do about that.
Can we do anything a little bit earlier? I know that's crunching you folks, but I think it's best if all 5 of us are here.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. When are you
We
leaving,
could do
Patsy?
it earlier in the week.
I have my airline reservations
We can
on
do it.
back to Wisconsin.
For
We can
what
do it
day?
21st, 22nd.
I'm leaving the 28th,
28th.
28th of March.
21st, 22nd?
16th?
Well, we could do the 21st.
Would the 21st, 22nd work for you guys?
No, we're talking about, and Valentine's Day is the 14th.
It's always the 14th.
Your wife must have reminded you.
They are. You better know this.
We can send it to them on ID.
She doesn't log into these meetings, does she? I hope not. Would the 21st, 22nd work for everybody? How's that for you?
I guess,
I have to get on the right calendar too, so I apologize.
For agenda items, and I don't know whether we want to agendize or not, but I really would like to know what's going on with, like, Eagle Communications. We haven't heard from them, and I don't know whether it's appropriate for an update or whether we just give them a call and say, tell us what's going on. Sky Fiber, I mean, you know, we did all this stuff and all of a sudden there's nothing.
No, we didn't do a contract with Eagle. We did a contract with the Eureka TV board, the Eagle stuff. Yes.
But they were gonna supposedly turn around and then bounce it back to Austin and such, and I'm going, where are we on all of that?
What we can
Yeah.
do is ask our TV board, to give us an update on
Okay, but,
it, because they were working together.
great, but I would like something on it, yeah. And the other thing is on the library. I'll wait for Bert. I don't know whether we need to put anything on the agenda or whether, Bert, you can just handle it for us again, but you remember I brought up that when they came to pick up all of their supplies and their books and such, they wiped out Austin. They took all of our history books. They even took all of our annuals. I mean, come on, they should know that certainly the high school yearbooks were not theirs, but all these history books that we had from Molly Knutson and all the history of Austin, we had all kinds of books, wonderful, that people come in and you know, utilize and go through, and they wiped all those out, and I said, that's not theirs. I don't care if they had the name on it or not. That's not theirs, and we should have it back, so.
Yes, I
is
will
that
follow
something
up. They
you
did
can
tell
still
us that they
handle?
were going to bring them back. I have not received them. They were gonna drop them here at the courthouse.
Wonderful.
So I do have that in an email from
Okay.
Cassie, but I just need to follow up and see, because it was supposed to be weeks ago, they were supposed to drop them off, and we haven't seen them yet.
Or
So-
I'll
so
stop
I
and
will
pick them
follow
up if you need, I mean, but.
Oh, yeah, no, I offered that as well. I told her we'll drive
Okay.
over and pick them up, whatever we need to do to get them. So I just need to follow up. So 21st is the date of,
21st, 22nd of March.
okay,
And Bert and I have a meeting in Carson City, March 7th or 8th. I forget what the date was, but we have a tax meeting on the thing that we have to go down there every year for, fight for our tax breaks.
it should go smooth. It's a savings to the state, and so it usually goes pretty smooth, but we still have to show up and present for ourselves.
Smooth is my middle name. Okay. Public comment for non-agendized items only. Persons are invited to submit comments in writing or to come to the meetings. You'll have 3 minutes or more, depending. Any public comment? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for coming to the meeting.
This conference is no longer being recorded.